Stop whatever you're doing right now, because what I'm about to tell you will either change your life completely, or you'll ignore it, and 10 years from now you'll still be standing in the exact same place. A few days ago, I saw a man explaining himself for 20 minutes to someone who clearly didn't respect him, trying to get approval from someone who didn't even deserve his time. And the truth is, those men are everywhere. Maybe you're one of them. Maybe you're tired of being overlooked, underestimated, treated like you don't matter. But here's the truth. You weren't born insecure. You were trained to be that way. Trained to obey, to please, to fit inside the box. You were conditioned to be predictable, manageable, controllable. But 5 centuries ago, one man saw the truth behind human nature. He stripped away the illusions and revealed how power really works. His name was Niccolò Machiavelli. And what he left behind wasn't just philosophy. It was a manual for those who refuse to be manipulated and are ready to dominate their own destiny. What you're about to learn isn't pretty. It's not moral lessons or social rules. These are the raw laws that govern strength, power, and influence. The kind of wisdom that turns ordinary men into unstoppable ones. In the next few minutes, you'll understand the 8 principles that separate those who beg for respect from those who naturally command it. But here's the warning. Once you see the truth, you can't unsee it. Say this out loud. I refuse to be limited. I refuse to be stopped. Now, take a deep breath, because your transformation begins now. Number 1. Master your inner world. Inside you, there are 2 men. One is insecure, hesitant, always apologizing. The other is grounded, steady, and earns respect just by being present. Every single day, you feed one and starve the other. Every choice you make strengthens one side and weakens the other. And today, the choice is clear. We're going to starve the insecure one and feed the confident one. Your insecure self is everything you were taught to be. It's the voice that says, stay quiet when someone disrespects you. It's the urge to say sorry, even when you've done nothing wrong. That programming started early. Parents wanted you to be good. Teachers wanted you to obey. Society wanted to control you. But controllable men don't build empires. Controllable men are forgotten. That insecure side has been making your decisions for far too long. It's the reason you tolerate disrespect. It's the reason you keep giving endless chances to people who don't deserve them. It's the reason you put everyone else before yourself. But there's something your insecure self doesn't want you to know. Every time you're nice to someone who doesn't deserve it, you're being cruel to yourself. Every time you let someone cross your boundaries, you're teaching them that your boundaries don't matter. Machiavelli once said, "He who is not master of himself will always be a servant to others." Learn to recognize who's in control. The insecure one says, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. The confident one says, I'm not lowering my standards. The insecure one thinks, maybe I misunderstood. The confident one says, I understood perfectly, and I didn't like what I understood. The insecure one wants to give another chance. The confident one knows they already had theirs. Transforming your inner world isn't about aggression. It's about strategy. The insecure self explains the boundary. The confident self enforces it. The insecure self tries to understand the disrespect. The confident self responds with consequences. The insecure self makes excuses for others. The confident self protects his time like it's gold. So pay attention. When you feel the urge to apologize for something that wasn't your fault, that's your insecure self talking. When you start explaining yourself to someone who actually owes you an apology, that's your insecure self begging for approval. Transform it. Choose strength over acceptance. Choose respect over being liked. Choose influence over popularity. And tell yourself, my insecure self is transforming. My confident self is awakening. Number 2, build a fortress mind. Your mind is the place where every battle begins and where most people lose. If you don't learn to control what happens inside, everything outside will control you. Your mind can be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. And right now, if we're honest, there's chaos in there. Every criticism cuts deeper than it should. Every problem shakes you more than it needs to. Every challenge triggers an emotional reaction that weakens you. That's why so many people stay stuck, because they live reacting instead of responding. But the fortress mind is different. It doesn't react, it responds strategically. When someone criticizes you, you don't get hurt, you observe. You read that person's character. When someone disappoints you, you don't get surprised, you simply confirm what you already suspected. The fortress mind understands one simple truth. Emotion is data, not destiny. Anger shows you when someone has crossed a line. Pain reveals who people really are. Fear warns you that you're about to grow stronger. That's how you start using emotions as tools instead of letting them drag you like chains. Stop taking everything personally. When someone treats you badly, they're not saying something about you. They're revealing who they are. And when someone tries to manipulate you, it's not a sign of your weakness. It's proof of their desperation. The fortress mind sees patterns. It learns from everything. Every conversation, every mistake, every conflict. And it turns all of it into preparation. Every situation that happens around you becomes fuel to make you sharper, stronger, and more unshakable. Build the habit of pausing and asking yourself, what is this trying to teach me? What is this discomfort trying to reveal? It's not about becoming cold, it's about becoming emotion-proof. You still feel things, but feelings no longer control your decisions. Logic guides your choices. Strategy directs your actions. And your influence begins to multiply. Other men break at the first sign of pressure. You won't, because you're building something that can withstand any storm. A fortress no one can invade, a mind no one can control. Say this to yourself calmly and with certainty. My mind is a fortress. My thoughts are my weapons.
Number 3, the power of strategic silence. The loudest man in the room is usually the most insecure. He talks too much because he needs to prove himself. He explains too much because he's afraid of being misunderstood. He argues too much because he can't stand being ignored. But true power lives in silence. Silence is the territory of men who know who they are, men who don't need to prove anything to anyone. When you learn to be silent, you become unpredictable. And the unpredictable man always has control. People start to look at you with respect because they can't read you, they can't measure you, and what they can't understand, they respect. Machiavelli once said, "The lion doesn't need to roar to be respected." When you speak less, every word starts to carry more weight. When you explain less, every action becomes more powerful. That's why the silent man is feared, not because he's aggressive, but because he's deep. Let others talk endlessly. Let them waste their energy trying to justify themselves. Meanwhile, you watch, you analyze, you move when the timing is right. When someone accuses you unfairly, don't defend yourself. Just look them in the eye and stay silent. Silence is the mirror that reflects the guilt of those who talk too much. When someone demands answers you don't want to give, don't get tangled. Just say no. When someone tries to drag you into drama, don't engage. Walk away. Power lies in not reacting. And here's the magic. When you stop reacting, people lose control over you. The emotional game only works on those who play. And when you don't play, you win. Most people try to win by shouting. The wise win in silence. Speak only when necessary, but when you speak, make every word count. Silence is a weapon, a shield, and a strategy. Say this with conviction. My silence speaks louder than their noise. Number 4, turn disappointment into strength. People will disappoint you. That's a guarantee. And the more you rise, the more often you'll see it happen. A friend will choose his own interests over your loyalty. A business partner will choose money over integrity. And someone you deeply respect will betray you when the pressure gets real. This isn't pessimism, it's reality. Most people suffer too much because they still believe the world is fair. They believe everyone thinks like they do. They believe kindness always brings kindness. But those who understand human nature don't get surprised, they get prepared. Disappointment isn't the end of anything. It's a reminder. A reminder that you expected maturity from someone who still lives in immaturity. Every disappointment carries a gift. The gift of clarity. Before it happened, you had doubts. After it, you know exactly who you're dealing with. Machiavelli once said, "Men are fickle, self-serving, and inconsistent." And the man who truly understands that is never caught off guard. Disappointment is the price of vision. It shows you who is who, teaches you where to place your trust, and forces you to rely more on yourself than on anyone else. But here's the secret. Disappointment is proof that you're leveling up. Think about it. People don't disappoint those beneath them. They disappoint those above them, those who have something they want, those who've started to stand out. Every disappointment is a sign of progress. Use it as fuel. Don't waste your energy complaining. Use that energy to grow. Ask yourself, what is this teaching me? What is this pain trying to reveal inside me? Sometimes the right response isn't revenge, it's distance. Walking away isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Remove what poisons you. No explanations, no second chances, no drama. and move on. Other times, the best move is patience. Take note of what you saw, keep it, and use it when the timing serves you. That's strategy. You'll learn who deserves trust and who deserves caution. You'll learn how to protect your weaknesses and depend on your own strength. The man who's been betrayed and became wiser is far more powerful than the man who's never been tested. Disappointment is your graduation, the diploma that proves you're no longer naive. Others let disappointment make them cold and bitter. You'll let it make you smarter and more selective. Because when everyone has let you down and you're still standing, when they left you behind and you're still moving, when they tried to break you and you still rise, that's when you realize you've become unstoppable. Number 5, silence your critics with excellence. There's a simple way to silence every critic, and it's not by arguing, it's by winning. People can doubt your words, but they can't deny your results. Succeed so greatly that criticism starts to sound like envy. Achieve so much that doubt starts to look like delusion. You don't owe anyone a response. Your work speaks for you. Your progress is your defense. Every time you argue with critics, you put them on your level. You give them a stage they never deserve to stand on. Stop treating empty opinions like they carry weight. Stop explaining your plans to people who've never built anything. Stop seeking approval from those who've never achieved anything themselves. The most effective way to silence a critic is not through arguments, it's by results. Machiavelli once said, "No one conquers fortune by complaining." And that's the truth. You don't win by complaining, you win by acting. Build something so solid that the words of others just bounce off and fall away. When your results speak louder than the noise around you, criticism dies on its own. Excellence is the answer. Success is the antidote. And silence is the final sentence. Those who laughed will stop talking. Those who doubted will go quiet. And those who criticized you will secretly admire you. Every minute you spend arguing is a minute you could have spent building. Every hour you waste explaining is an hour you could have used to grow. Let your progress make the noise. Let your results shut the mouths. Let your consistency become your response. Because once your success becomes undeniable, criticism becomes irrelevant. Say this to yourself: I silence my critics with success, not with arguments.
Number 6, control your reputation. Your reputation is the first judgment the world makes about you. And believe me, it happens fast. In just 7 seconds, anyone who crosses your path has already formed an opinion of who you are. And that opinion defines everything: how they treat you, how much respect they give you, and how much influence they think you hold. Most people leave this to chance. You won't. You're going to control your reputation like a strategic weapon. Because your reputation isn't just appearance, it's energy. It's what people feel when you enter a room. It's what they say about you when you're not there. And most of all, it's how much they believe they need to respect you. Stop talking too much. Truly influential men don't fill silence with noise. They speak less, but when they do, every word carries weight. They don't explain every decision. They don't justify every choice. They simply act. And over time, the world understands. Machiavelli once said, "Men judge more by what they see than by what they actually know. People judge you more by perception than by truth, so use that reality to your advantage. Control what they see. Your posture tells a story before you ever open your mouth. Walk like a man who knows where he's going. Stand like a man who owns the space he's in. Speak like a man who carries clarity. Look like a man who needs to prove nothing. When chaos erupts, be the calm center. When others panic, be the steady force. When everyone else loses control, be the one who remains grounded. Consistency builds trust, and trust builds influence. But none of this happens by accident. You have to decide who you are. You have to decide what you represent. Control the story they tell about you. Don't let assumptions define you. Don't let your past mistakes become your identity. Don't let other people's opinions become your reality. You decide who you are. You decide what you stand for. You decide how you'll be remembered. Your reputation is your shield. Your presence is your power. And your character is your legacy. Say it with conviction. I control my reputation. My presence commands respect. Number 7. Make excellence a discipline. Excellence isn't a talent, it's a practice. It's not something you switch on when you feel like it, or a mode you activate to impress others. Excellence is a discipline. It's what you do every single day, even when no one is watching. Most people think excellence is about big moments, the big meeting, the difficult conversation, the rare opportunity. But the truth is, excellence lives in the small, invisible moments of every day. It's in how you wake up when your body wants to stay in bed. It's in how you respond when something irritates you or goes wrong. It's in how you treat people who can't offer you anything in return. It's in how you act when there's no one around to applaud you. Those invisible moments are where your character is forged, and your character determines your destiny. Ordinary men behave well when there's an audience. Extraordinary men stay loyal to their standards even when no one is watching. Machiavelli once said, "Fortune favors the disciplined." When you do what you said you would do, especially when you don't feel like it, you build something rare, unshakable self-trust. When you keep your word, even when it's uncomfortable, you learn to trust yourself. And trusting yourself is the foundation of real strength. Discipline builds what motivation cannot sustain, because motivation fades, but discipline remains. Others will call you extreme. They'll say you're too intense. They'll tell you to relax, to enjoy life more. Let them talk. They'll be the same ones asking for your help when their undisciplined lives start to fall apart. While they chase comfort, you chase consistency. While they choose what's easy, you choose what's effective. They live for temporary pleasure. You live for permanent purpose. Make excellence your philosophy. Make strength your daily training. Make discipline your sacred ritual. Because when life tests you, and it will, the disciplined man endures while the comfortable man collapses. Discipline is what keeps you steady when everything around you falls apart, and it's what opens the door
to your next level. Number 8. Become unstoppable. Being unstoppable isn't about never failing. It's about having a mind so steady that nothing on the outside can shake what lives inside. People will criticize you, but it won't break you. They'll disappoint you, but it won't surprise you. They'll try to challenge you, but it won't stop you. The unstoppable man reaches a level that most people will never understand. Total independence from other people's opinions. That's not coldness. It's emotional intelligence in its highest form. You still care, but you don't depend on anyone's approval. You still love, but you don't need to be loved to feel whole. You still connect, but you don't need connection to exist. Let them call you confident. Let them call you independent. Let them call you different. Accept those labels without defending them. Because when ordinary people don't understand your strength, they'll try to pull you back down to their level. Don't go. You don't live there anymore. Your influence comes from self-mastery, not external control. Your strength comes from discipline, not from other people's approval. Your victory comes from excellence, not applause. Machiavelli once said, "He who conquers himself is the mightiest of warriors." You don't need anyone's permission to be who you are. You don't need anyone's cooperation to build your life. You don't need anyone's approval to follow your path. That's not isolation, it's selectivity. You decide who gets access to your time, your energy, your attention. You decide who deserves your investment. You decide who has the right to influence you. The unstoppable man lives in abundance, not scarcity. He has so many options that he's never desperate for one. He has so much inner strength that he doesn't rely on outer support. He has such solid character that no one's opinion can shake him. And when the world tries to test him, he doesn't move. They'll search for cracks in your foundation. They'll try to push buttons that no longer exist. They'll try to provoke the old reactions from a new man. And they'll fail. Because you've eliminated every weakness. You've transformed your insecure self. And you've built a fortress mind that no one can penetrate. You've mastered silence. You've turned setbacks into fuel. You control your reputation, and you've made discipline your identity. Now, nothing can hold you. Nothing can break you. Nothing can stop you. Because the moment you chose transformation over comfort, the victory was already decided. The world is waiting for you to claim your place in it. So stop asking for permission. Stop waiting for opportunities. Stop expecting someone to hand you what you can take for yourself.
You are unbreakable. You are unbending. You are unstoppable. Now go and prove it. This is your moment. This is your influence. This is your time. Take everything.